Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can have a seat.
Thank you.
Can you state your name and spell it, please?
Taina Cruz, Taina. Last name is Cruz as in zebra.
And how are you employed?
I am a sergeant with the Criminal Investigations Division at the City of Canton Police Department.
And what does that mean?
So I investigate crimes that happen within our jurisdiction.
And can you tell the jury a little bit about your background and education in terms of what led up to your role as an investigator?
Sure. I was mandated in September of 2017.
What does that mean?
Mandated is when you become a law enforcement officer. And I spent 2 years on the road as a patrol officer. Directly after that, I applied to the Criminal Investigations Division as a detective. And in August of 2019 is when I became a detective. And this is in December of 2020 is when I actually got this case.
Okay. And can you tell the jury a little bit about the Canton Police Department? How many investigators do you have?
Sure. Currently we have 5 investigators and 2 supervisors, and then we have a lieutenant over the division.
Okay. And where do you fall in that?
So I am one of the supervisors.
And with regard to how the division of cases works, do the investigators at the Canton Police Department specialize, or do you all handle investigations of all types?
So we do handle investigations of all types. Generally, you'll know the strengths and weaknesses of each detective. In this particular incident, I am specialized in crimes against persons.
Okay. And back in December of 2020, what was your position?
I was a detective.
All right. And when did you become aware of sort of the incident that led us to here today? Tell me about December the 8th of 2020 and how you became involved.
Sure. I was actually at Starbucks getting my second win of a cup of coffee, and I got a phone call from my lieutenant. He said, "Did you hear what happened over the radio?" I said, "Yes, I heard what happened over the radio." He said, "I need you here now." He told me the address, 215 Mountain View Vista, and I went straight away, blue lights all the way to the scene. At that point, I saw EMT had already been there, a couple of officers had already been there, and my supervisory staff is already there. And they told me, "Your lead, this is your case." I said, "Okay."
And who was your supervisory staff that was there?
Lieutenant Ray.
Okay. And what time did you get the call or arrive on scene, do you know?
It would have been around 13:41.
Okay, and what time is that in?
1:41, I'm sorry.
Okay. And when you arrived on scene, who was there?
Like I said, we had 2 officers there, well, actually 3, Officer Pruitt, Officer Yurkovsky, and Officer Soto. We had my Lieutenant Ray there. We had another detective there, Detective Priest, and then I arrived, and then we had several EMT officers there.
When you arrived on scene, were the injured parties still present?
One of the injured parties was still present. The baby had been taken away.
Okay. And who was the other individual that was injured?
Chloe Driver.
All right. And who else was on scene? You indicated that your supervisory staff said your lead. What does that mean to be lead, and what did you do in terms of sort of navigating or calling the shots at that point?
Sure. So when you do become lead over the crime scene, you're basically calling the shots. You're telling people what they need to do, how they need to do it. You're interviewing most people on scene and taking them to specific places so you can interview them in a quiet setting. You're taking photographs if you can. If not, you're telling crime scene what to get, what to collect, what to look for, things of that nature.
Okay. How many people were on scene in terms of first responders, law enforcement, EMT, fire rescue, when you were there?
Probably over 10 of us.
Okay. And so tell me what steps you took when you got on scene. You indicated that Hannah had already been taken from the scene. At that point when you arrived, did you know whether she was deceased or not?
I did not.
Okay. And what was sort of the way that you navigated from the time you arrived on scene this investigation?
I told everybody to separate all the parties. I did not know who was involved or what had happened. I also told crime scene take the photos of the scene, collect whatever evidence they could collect, including a murder weapon if there was one. I let them know that if there are parties still there that were on scene that saw it, I'd like them to go back to the station so that way I can interview them appropriately. And then also just to make notation of what the scene looks like, again, sketch it out, whatever they needed to do.
Okay. You used the terminology crime scene. Who were you referring to with regard to who crime scene is in this particular case?
So we do have our detective taking pictures, Detective Priest, so he was part of the crime scene, but we also have Cherokee Sheriff's Office crime scene come in, and their techs take pictures, collect evidence, and things of that nature. I think Officer Shaw was one of our crime scene techs there.
All right, and what dictates whether you call on the Sheriff's Office to assist with crime scene?
If the scene becomes too big in order for our small department to handle it.
And was that a decision that you made?
Yeah.
And at that time, were there any search warrants obtained or additional steps taken in the investigative process to facilitate that?
So yes, we do have to take a search warrant for the house in order to gather information and evidence out of the house in order to collect photos and things of that nature. So yes, there was a search warrant taken for the house.
Okay. How was the scene secured in terms of who was allowed to go where or?
So it was roped off, like we always do with crime scene tape, and there was officers standing at the scene until that search warrant came.
Okay. Any idea how long law enforcement was at that house after the initial call?
Long time, maybe up into the wee hours of the night.
Okay. You indicated when you got on scene that you instructed other personnel to separate the parties.
Mm-hmm.
Was that done?
Yes.
All right. And you mentioned sort of on-scene interviews and then taking people down to the station. What can you tell me about sort of how you navigated, who you talked to on scene, and where that happened?
So because it was so chaotic and we had certain people interviewing certain people, I went to the person who wasn't being interviewed first, spoke to that person, got general information, and then asked that they take that person back to the station. Then I tried for the next one, asked that they take that person back to the station. So they were taken pretty much separately in different cars, so that way I can interview them separately.
Okay. And who were the people that you made contact with on scene that were not law enforcement or responders to this, the people that were at the residence when it occurred?
Everybody that was on scene. Jerry, Jason, Benyamin, Sarah, Jessica.
Okay. And did you make contact and speak to those people, or other officers make contact and speak to those individuals separately while on scene?
They did.
Okay. And were they able to provide information about what they had witnessed or observed that day?
Absolutely. My officers came and told me specifically who they talked to. They had their information for me, even photo IDs that we can photocopy and things of that nature.
Okay. And then you mentioned that there were multiple people involved in transporting them to the police station. Where is Canton Police Department in relation to where this residence was?
Less than 10 minutes away.
All right. And what was the reason for transporting each of them in a separate vehicle?
I didn't want them talking or giving statements that can conflict or convolute what they saw, but also I wanted to have independent witnesses of each other.
Okay.
So that way I can get the true facts of the story.
Okay. Is that pretty routine in sort of investigating a crime like this, to try to separate people as quickly as possible?
Absolutely.
And who all went to Canton Police Department on that day to be interviewed by you?
Jerry.
The homeowner?
The homeowner, Jerry.
Okay.
Jason Spillers, Jessica, Sarah, and Benyamin.
Okay. So the two other wives, Benyamin, Jason Spillers, and Jerry?
Yes.
Okay. So the 5 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did you interview each of them separately?
I did.
And were they willing to speak to you about the circumstances surrounding Hannah's death?
They were.
Okay. How long were you there that evening interviewing all these parties?
Late.
Okay.
The next morning.
Did you collect anything, any evidence from any of those parties?
I did.
What did you collect?
I collected 2 cell phones.
Okay. Whose cell phones did you collect?
Benyamin's and Sarah's.
And after you concluded those interviews, did you give them any instructions? Did they just leave? How did you leave things with the group?
So I did tell them that I was going to download their cell phones to still be in the general area if they wanted their cell phones back. I also told them that they could go back to the house, but they couldn't go in the crime scene in case we were still there collecting things, and not to take anything away from the crime scene.
Okay. Do you mean the room itself?
The house.
The house, okay. And were, at that time when they left the police department, were officers still on scene processing?
They were.
Okay. And did you have any idea at that point how long they were gonna stay in Cherokee County?
I did not know.
Do you have any idea how long they did stay in Cherokee County?
I did not know.
Okay. Did you have any physical contact with any of these people after December the 8th of 2020?
Yes.
And when was that?
The very next day I talked to Benyamin. I actually went to the hospital to speak to Chloe, and I put him on the phone so I knew he was in the general area still. And then I spoke to Sarah again, and I believe I spoke to Benyamin again.
Okay. And you indicated you told them to stay in the general vicinity so you could download their cell phones, and was that with the intention to return their cell phones to them once you downloaded them?
Correct.
And when did that happen?
Immediately. I went and took their cell phones right away, and I think they got them back probably within a day or two.
Okay. And when you say you took their cell phones, what did that look like?
So when you take their cell phones, actually you get a search warrant for them, and we have the Cherokee Sheriff's Office that has their own investigations group that does all of their downloading. They use Cellbrite to download.
All right. At what point did you, on that day, learn that Hannah had died?
Pretty much right away. When I was on scene, they told me maybe 30 minutes into it that she had passed away.
Did you make any death notifications on scene? Did you tell anyone?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I know Benyamin was informed, yes.
Okay. And at the time that you interviewed them, were all the parties aware that Hannah was deceased?
Yes.
Were there any other investigative steps you took that night other than interviewing all the parties, having the crime scene processed, collecting the cell phones?
I did get a search warrant to take photos and some blood for Chloe Driver, so I can get it the very next day.
Okay. And what was the purpose of, you said so you could get some blood?
It's a sample. We didn't know who the parents were because they were all married, so we didn't really know whose mom and whose dad. So we did take blood, or a sample, not of blood, but a sample of saliva from Benyamin, and then a sample from Chloe Driver.
Was that the purpose for proving parentage of Hannah?
That is correct.
Okay. And did you obtain a search warrant to get any evidence from Chloe Driver's body?
Yes.
And what was that for?
I wanted to get swabs off of her hands to see if she had DNA from Hannah on her hands.
All right. And where was Chloe Driver taken after she left 215 Mountain Vista?
Taken straight to Canton Hospital.
All right. And in terms of the law enforcement response to the hospital, once she was taken to the hospital, was there an officer at the hospital with her?
Yes. We had an officer sit on her 24/7.
Okay. And you mentioned that you got a search warrant. When did you first go to Canton Hospital to make contact with Miss Driver?
12/9, which would have been the very next day.
The next day. Okay. And when you went to make contact with her at Canton Hospital, you indicated that you had a search warrant. What was sort of your intention in making contact with her on the 9th?
So my intention was just to get photos of her, to get her saliva, and also to get DNA off of her hands.
All right. And when you interacted with her on that date, was it recorded?
Yes, it was.
All right. And Your Honor, I was speaking with the defense based on our earlier discussions about the videos of Ms. Driver's interviews and the written annotations that have been added to them. I believe the parties are in agreement to stipulate to the admissibility of State's Exhibit 100, 101, and 102.
That's correct, Judge.
All right, you're admitted.
All right. When you went and made contact with Ms. Driver, was she capable of speaking verbally?
She was whispering, but
Okay.
not necessarily loudly speaking like I am today.
Okay, and why?
She had a slash in her throat.
Okay. Did she have a trach?
Yes,
Okay. And was she capable of giving written responses?
absolutely.
And did she give written responses?
She's the one who told me she wanted to write stuff down.
Okay. Do you recognize these?
Yes, this is my handwriting on the top and her handwriting on her social security number, date of birth, and address, as well as her name. And then this is her statements.
Okay. And do these truly and accurately reflect in states 104, the Miranda form you exercised on that day, and states 103, her handwritten responses to your questions?
That's correct.
Okay. Your Honor, our tender states 103 and 104. No objection.
You're admitted.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to publish State's Exhibit 100.
All right.
And on what day did you indicate this was?
12/9.
12/9, okay?
Hey Chloe, my name is Detective Cruz, and I'm here because I have a search warrant, okay? But I'm here to collect kind of DNA sample of your inner cheek, a DNA sample of kind of your hands, and then take some pictures, and that's pretty much it. Okay? I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and then see if you're okay to even answer anything. Because if you can't talk, I don't want to ask any questions, okay? So, do you know how many quarters are in dollars? Good. Do you know where you are located today? Good. Do you know what day is today? Very good. And so I'm just here because I want to make sure that A, you're okay, and that B, I get stuff from your body to make sure that nobody is hurting you, okay? You have experienced some trauma, and so we want to make sure that you are taken care of, all right? And I'm going to leave this paperwork for you and my business card. And my business card will have my cell on it if you need anything. That cell is on 24/7. Okay? You got that? Perfect. I'm going to leave this paperwork right here. You don't have to talk. You don't have to talk at all, okay? But we're not going to talk today, okay? And I'm going to visit you again tomorrow, okay? And I'm going to visit you the next day if you want me to. But I want to make sure that you're okay. Okay? So let me put this here for you. And I'm going to leave you my business card. Okay? And then I'm going to take this out of here because we don't need this anymore. Okay? Okay. Are you cold or your feet cold? A little bit? Just like that, and I'm going to come on this side, okay? Thank you. What about this hand? That's perfect. You can put that one down, okay? did talk to mom for you and dad. And they asked about you, and they want to see you. That's okay. If you want to see them, you can. If you don't want to see them, you don't have to. But they can't come into the hospital because this is a trauma unit. And so when they move you to a new unit, they may be able to visit. Okay? So we will ask at that point if they can visit you. All right? Is that okay? But you don't have to see them if you don't want to. Okay? Can I take pictures here? Okay? And go on this side, okay? You're all closed up. How's your legs? Are they swollen? Are they okay? Can I take a look? Oh, you got compressions on. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna leave those on. Those are very good for you. You want a nurse? Want me to get a nurse? You sure? Can we talk tomorrow? I want to talk to you tomorrow though, okay? Because I feel like I want to give you everything, okay? And I haven't visited yet, so I can't tell you for sure, okay? So I want to make sure that you're okay first. She's at a different hospital, because this is not a baby hospital, okay? Breathe, please, and feel. I want you to breathe, okay? I do not want to put up your blood pressure. It looks like it's going to go up. So, I'm going to have the nurse check. That's the on safe side, okay? Hold on. Her nurse, I just want to make sure that her blood pressure is not going up too high.
No, I can't see.
Can you check that just for me? I just want to make sure that her blood pressure is okay and I'm not elevating it in any way.
I don't know what it has been, but she's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was concerned
Yes.
because I'm like, I see it a little bit spiking and I'm like, I do not want to cause any spike in anything.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about medical
It's
stuff.
okay, that's what we're here for.
Okay. I get scared too, just so you know. Okay.
You get scared with her stuff too.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I just want to make sure you're okay. That's it. And when I look at that and then it starts going up, I'm like, uh-oh. So, because you can't speak to me currently, is why I don't want to talk, okay? I want you to be able to say it. Well, you can write stuff down? You want to write stuff down? Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Let me get something to write with, okay? Are you wanting? You want to write? I don't understand. So, let me get something for you to write. I don't want you to talk, okay? Let me get something for you to write with. Okay, I have her write stuff. She wants to talk. Yes. How about that? That's a good enough. Good enough. This, yeah, I have them in different languages, just so you know, yes. Okay. Yeah, I know all types of stuff, but not to do that. Alright, at least I got one. So what that is. Okay. And I think she has a book. A book. And I should write it on. Let's see if she can write it on that. I found something for you to write it, okay? Okay. Before you say anything to me, I want you to read your rights, okay? And I have to do this because our policy, state of Georgia, you have rights, all right? And everybody has rights. And I do not want you to not listen and hear them and then read them for yourself, okay? This is your first right. You have the right to remain silent, okay? You don't have to speak to me, okay? Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law, all right? You have the right to talk to a lawyer or have them present during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed for you and any questioning if you wish, okay? You can decide at any time during this interview that you can exercise your rights and you can quit being answered with any questions, or you can quit me asking any questions or making any statements. You just stop at any point and say, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Is that okay? Fair enough? Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to write everything for you, today's date, which is 12/9. We are at Canton Hospital. Okay, the time is 16:59. And I'm going to put mine in. Okay? And Kim, I'm going to have you witness her signing this, okay? I'm going to sign here. Okay. You're going to put your name here, how old you are, your date of birth, your address where you live. If you don't have an address, don't put one. You're going to read each right and then put your initials, and then read that paragraph saying you understand your rights. Then you're going to sign, okay? That's for you, and that's for you. All right, I'm going to have him sign this paper, but I'm going to take this paper from him. And you can write whatever you want to write, all right? Just sign that witness signature line. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. You want to do this? You want to ask the question, write it down, and then I'll read it out loud and I'll answer the question? You want to do that? Yeah? Okay. You can keep the pen. You said, I want to know if my baby survived ASAP. That's one question. I want to know who is staying with her. That's the second question. Okay. And I'm going to answer both for you. Your baby did not survive. Okay? Your baby did not make it. Alright? Your baby is currently getting an autopsy done to find out what actually happened to her body. Okay? You want to ask more questions? No? I'll do this for you. You can ask me anything you want. Who did that to you? Did your husband do that to you? That's a question? You want to answer? Yeah? Okay. I want to speak to Benyamin, Ben Michael, and Renee Driver. Okay? We can't let you speak to Benyamin, okay? Because you have that in there. We can't let you speak to your mom, and your mom said she's coming, okay? Do you want to speak to her? She's coming here. Do you want to speak to her in person, face to face, or on the phone? In person, face to face. Okay, good. So I've already called your mom, and she said she's going to be here tomorrow morning, okay? She's on her way. You have another question? You cannot speak to Benyamin because I think he did this to you. Can you tell me what you're saying? I don't want anybody to hurt you anymore.
Her heart rate is getting elevated. Take some big deep breaths.
Okay, let me read it. Let me read it. Breathe. I want you to breathe. Breathe. Okay.
Look at me. Breathe. Slow. You're breathing. Look at me.
What's your name? Chloe.
Chloe. Chloe. Look at me. Breathe. Breathe. There you go. There you go. You're doing good. Just breathe. Just breathe. Okay. It was going wonky because her pulse ox is right here, so when she was writing, it was just giving us... No, it's fine. That's why it was alarming. But then she just got worked up.
Do you want me to read it? Yeah. You want me to read it? He didn't do it. I did. I was going insane and no longer wanted to be with his friends, but kept coming back for him. I only wanted my baby and husband, but he refused. Who are his friends? Who are they? Do you know their names? Help me. You don't want to? Okay. Okay? Okay, we're stopping. That's it, no more. I don't want to do this no more. Breathe. Breathe, please. Breathe, please. I don't want to call him and get you worked up, okay? You're already worked up, I can see it. Listen to me. I'm coming tomorrow again. Can we call tomorrow? Okay? He can't come here because they won't let him. Because of COVID, nobody can come in this hospital. So when you switch roles, then people can visit you, okay? But nobody can come in here. Only law enforcement can come in here. Nobody else. They're not letting anybody into this hospital. It's a major COVID center. Okay? Listen. Tomorrow they may move you to a new room. You may be out of the ICU. Okay? And then at that point, how about we call him now? Do you want to do that? Tomorrow? What time? What time do you wake up? Okay? That's okay. What about 9:30 a.m.? Good? You want me to set a date with you? 9:30 a.m. That's good? Good. I don't want to get you worked up anymore. Okay? No more working up. Okay? I want you to breathe. Alright? And again, I'm Detective Cruz. I'm here for you, okay? Immediately, she did suffer. Immediately, she did not suffer before she left the house. Okay? Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay? That is for your family to decide, okay? When you get better, your family wants to take her to Knoxville. I know. Okay? Benyamin wants her body too. He said so. Okay? You want Benyamin to have her body? He can't come here and talk. Tomorrow he can't come and talk. They won't let him come into this hospital, and I don't know if they're transferring me from here. I have to ask, okay? And I know, but we can call him tomorrow, okay? I'm gonna get his phone number and everything like that. No, he doesn't have your phone. It's at the house? You want me to go get it? Okay. He's not at the house. I want you to breathe, please. Phone up again. You're scared? Your stuff is at the house. Upstairs in the room? Okay. Your phone and the bag. Okay. Phone and the bag is upstairs in the room. I got that. Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me before I come back tomorrow for you? You just want to call him? You want to talk to him? Okay. Okay. I will make that happen. Okay? All right? I will make it happen. Okay? I'm going to get his phone so that way we can call. I have your phone. I have my phone. I have your phone. Yes. Okay? But I can't bring it here because it's dead. We gotta charge it. It's dead? Yes. We tried to look to see about your mom's phone number and couldn't find it on your phone, so I had to look somewhere else. Take the pictures off? Is mine off? Yours is off. Yes. Okay. I'm going to charge it for you tonight. Okay? And I will bring it tomorrow. Oh, I can't get it now. Canton is far from here. And your phone is in Canton. Canton is like 45 minutes from here. Okay? We're not near Canton. So I would have to drive all the way over there and then come all the way back here. Okay? That's why I'm going to do it tomorrow. We're going to schedule an appointment tomorrow, okay? 9:30 a.m., okay? And your mom, she's coming tomorrow, so hopefully we can get you in a new room so your mom can see you. I talked to your mom already. You want me to talk to them about moving you? Okay, I will. Okay. Is there anything else I'm missing? No? All right. Tomorrow, 9:30. Okay?
Yeah, but I do, that's the only way I can get my husband to go to.
Detective Cruz, I want to follow up with you about a couple of things about that interview. We put the annotations in the Miranda form on the video, but what we've already previously admitted is State's Exhibit 104. I'll put that up on the screen. All right. First, tell me, when you walked in and you started asking her questions about how many quarters in a dollar, what day of the week is it, do you know where you're at? We heard your portion, but was she able to accurately answer all of those questions?
She was. She whispered everything.
Okay. And why did you ask her those questions?
I wanted to know if she was of sound mind and judgment, and that's usually questions that we ask. I didn't know how many medications that they gave her, if she was lucid even to talk.
Okay. And did she seem to have any difficulty understanding you, knowing who you were, knowing why you were there?
Not at all.
Okay. And then you had previously indicated that you were not there to talk to her at all, that you were just going to sort of take swabs until she indicated she wanted to write. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. We saw that you did take those swabs. Were those sent off to the crime lab?
They were.
Your Honor, we do have a written stipulation, which I can read into the record at the appropriate time. Any objection? Okay, I'll just read it this time. Stipulation: swabs from the left and right hands of Chloe Alexis Driver were collected by Canton Police Department on December the 9th, 2020. The swabs were sent to the GBI crime lab, where chemical examination revealed the presence of blood. Further laboratory testing revealed the DNA of Hannah Driver was located on the swabs from both the left and right hands of Chloe Alexis Driver, dated November 14th, 2024, signed by myself, Katie Gropper, and attorney Angela Trethaway. Well, Jonathan Kessler for Angela Trethaway. All right, going back to, you asked some preliminary questions about, to assess sort of what mental state she was in, her ability to communicate coherently. When you handed her this Miranda form that we're seeing in State's Exhibit 104, tell me which portions she filled out herself.
Sure. She filled out her name, her age, her date of birth, her social security number, her address. She put her initials 1 through 5, and then she signed at the bottom.
And did she require any assistance doing any of that?
She did not.
And then we saw the annotations on the screen. I'd like to publish State's Exhibit 103, which has been previously admitted. Is this the complete writing from when you spoke to her in that interview we just saw?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. At some point, you and her in that interview were still communicating, but she wasn't writing anymore, but you were obviously responding to things that you were hearing her say, but they were not audible. So I want to talk to you about some of that. At one point in that interview, you said, "I don't want to call him and get you worked up." What was that in response to?
She wanted to speak to Benyamin, and I told her her blood pressure was already going up. I don't want to call him and get her worked up, meaning her blood pressure would have been even sky through the roof, and I knew she was in a fragile state, so.
Okay. At one point you said immediately before she left the house. What was that in response to?
If she had passed away.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at one point you said that is for your family to decide, and you engaged in a discussion with her about what was going to happen to Hannah's body.
That's correct.
What did she say she wanted to happen to Hannah's body?
She said she wanted Ben Michael to have Hannah, not her parents.
Okay. And then toward the end of the interview, you made arrangements to return the following day. What was her request about why she wanted you to return with her phone the following day?
She wanted to call Benyamin and her parents.
Okay. That same day, did you ever go back into the room and speak to her a second time?
I did. I believe I asked when they were going to move her.
Okay.
And they told me they weren't going to move her. So I had mentioned to her that they weren't going to move her just yet.
Okay. Was that recorded as well?
That was.
Your Honor, I'd like to publish State's Exhibit 101, which has been previously admitted.
All right.
Okay, I just got word from them. They are not meeting me tomorrow, okay? And they don't make any exceptions for mom or anybody to come in the room because of the ICU, okay? So I want to be very clear. Mom can't come in, but we can call her. You want to call mom? We can do that, okay? So 9:30 a.m., first call, you want to be the mom or you want it to be the Benyamin? visitors. You can't have your phone, okay? We took a search warrant for your phone too, okay? Because we thought that Benyamin was hurting you. And so we took your phone and his to make sure that's not happening, okay? We wanted to make sure that there's nothing on that cell phone that says he's been hurting you, he's been violent towards you, he cut you. So we wanted to make sure that he didn't. Okay. That's what we wanted to make sure of. All right? So once they're done with the phones, then we'll give them back. All right? All right. I will be back tomorrow at 9:30. And if you want to call people, we'll call and use my cell phone. Okay? We'll do that. That's fine. I didn't bring it with me today because I had a lot of camera equipment and I can't carry everything. All right? But tomorrow I'll carry it and I don't have the camera equipment, okay? But I am going to take a sample, a swab of your hand, and then the inner cheek, okay? And that basically has a DNA sample to say that you are her mom, okay? Because at that point we didn't know who's the mom, all right? So we have to confirm that you and the mom are parents. All right? And that's the only reason why we're doing it. Okay? Are you okay and comfortable with that? All right. I'm going to give my little swab. It tickles a little bit, but it doesn't hurt. Okay? All right. Let me go get that down. Sorry.
I'm ready for you are. Okay. I can start marking.
And now I'll do this. The same policy. Okay. Yep. Yep.
I use that in.
Yep. Yep. No, I'm good. Don't need to worry. Thank you. Okay. Are these sealed? Yeah? Okay, they are. Okay. I wanted to make sure I showed you that. Is this sealed? Yes? Okay, perfect. I'm going to open this one and we'll do the cheek first, okay? Let's see if I can actually open it. There we go. Usually when my friend's doing this for me, but... Do you want me to move so you can empty that out right now? You sure? Okay. You know, I haven't broken into these things. I got a little too forceful. This is not good. There we go. Is that sealed? Good? Okay. That's the first one I'll start with. I'm going to swap your right cheek and then your left cheek, okay? And like I said, this is to prove that your mom needs, okay? And then Benyamin and Daddy. Can you say off for me? Off? Thank you. Okay. Left cheek. Thank you. This is my least favorite part. Getting the other tape just right. Okay? Yeah, I need to find that actually. Let's do this pen again. Chloe, you spell C-H-L-O-E. Is that how you spell it? You have a middle name, Alexis, A-L-E-X-I-S. Okay. And last name is Driver, D-R-I-V-E-R. Okay. Okay. I'm going to have you sign here, put your date of birth, whatever race that you go by, okay? And that's it. Can you do that for me? Date of birth, signature first, okay? Only one for each hand, so. Yeah, just in case. Yeah, you're right. Yeah? Okay. Perfect. Name and witness. Front name, signature, date. Thank you. Appreciate that. You go by Caucasian, African American, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, Caucasian? Yes? Okay. And your social security number? You want to write it down? Okay. Write it right here for me. Perfect, thank you. You want to write that? Here. Let's write, don't speak, write. He said, how long will my prison sentence be for killing him? I can answer that. You know why? I'm not your judge and I'm not your jury, okay? I'm only a mere detective collecting evidence and investigating. So I'm not your judge or jury, okay? So I can't answer that. All right? You want to write again? Or you're good? All right. Oops, I'm sorry. Two more samples. Sealed? Yes? Fine. Let me get a little bit of water from here. Okay? I want you to open your hand. Perfect. I'm going to take a little bit of all right, now take your other hand, okay? All right. One more time, okay? Same thing, I'm gonna do it. Another bit of water. All right, let's try a different finger. Thank you. Let me know how I'm gonna do, okay? Alright. Try this one. Is that cut? Let me know if I'm hurting you, okay? Alright. You want to ask me anything before I leave you before tomorrow? No? Maybe? No? Okay. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Numbers that I need from Mom and Benyamin, so that way we can call them, okay? 9:30 in the morning, are you going to expect me? I'll be here tomorrow for you. Okay? All right. You want me to leave this so you can communicate with other people? Yeah? I'll leave it for you, okay? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your patience.
May I approach?
Yes.
Planning Estates Exhibit 105. Do you know what this is?
Yes, this was the last sentence that she asked of me.
Does this truly and accurately reflect what Ms. Driver wrote on December the 9th of 2020?
Yes.
I would tender states 105. No objection. Permission to publish?
Go ahead.
And we heard you read this out loud, but is this the actual original writing of Ms. Driver?
That is the actual original writing of Ms. Driver.
Okay. At one point, I believe when you were swabbing her hands, you said in the interview, is that a cut?
Yes.
What were you observing?
Her right hand, she had 2 visible cuts that I could see, and so I asked her, is that a cut?
Detective Cruz, when we left off, we were discussing that you had left Kennestone Hospital on December the 9th of 2020, and we saw in those videos that you made plans with Ms. Driver to come back the following day because she wanted to call Benyamin, Ben Michael, and her mother. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Did you return to Kennestone Hospital the following day?
I did.
Right. And did you re-Mirandize her at that time?
I did.
Okay. Why did you read her Miranda again?
I wanted to make sure if she was on medications the prior day that she knew what she was reading the second day as well.
Okay. May I approach the witness?
Yes.
Showing you states 106. Do you recognize this?
I do.
And is this the Miranda form that you completed with her on that day?
I did.
And I would tender at this time states 106. No objection.
106 is admitted.
All right. And then in terms of the manner of communication with her on the 10th of December, was she still communicating primarily in writing?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm going to hand you, may I approach?
Yes.
States 107, which is a 4-page composite exhibit. Do you recognize these?
I do.
And what are those?
These are her handwriting. Yep.
Are these the handwritten notes from Ms. Driver for the duration of the conversation with her on the 10th, including her communication with you, with Benyamin, and with her mother?
That's correct.
Okay. Your Honor, I would tender states 107. Yeah.
107 is admitted.
All right. And then similarly, was that communication recorded with your body cam?
It was.
All right. And Your Honor, that has already been tendered. Let me get back into the computer here. And I would like to publish at this time States Exhibit 102.
Go ahead.
Okay? You feel a little bit better? It's okay. What do you want to do first? Do you want to call mom first? You can write if you want, and we can try to FaceTime maybe. You want to do that or no? What do you want to do? Call Ben first? It's up to you. So, I will have you write whatever you want to do first. You let me know, because I'm here to help, okay? So. How are you? Okay. Let's call him first then. I'm going to place him on speakerphone so you can hear at least, okay? Ready? Let me call again. It's okay. 843 number? That's what the number's calling me from. Ben? Hello, Ben? Ben? Then, hold on. Then, okay, I can hear you now. She says, hi, how are you? Where are you? Have you seen Nancy? Okay. You want to ask something else? She's crying. Do you want to say anything to her? She wants to know what happened. Okay, she says, I felt safest. Oh, it felt safest. Then I felt horrible. It felt safest. Then I felt horrible. I went because I had no choice. You hear me? So you went to get toys and you returned with a knife? No. I went to get a knife.
Because she had no choice.
Because she had no choice.
No choice. No choice. I heard the word T-O-Y-S, toys.
No, see, she said choice. C-H-O-I-C-E.
Can she hear me still on speaker?
Yeah, you're on speaker. She can hear you.
You always have a choice, and your choices did this. You always have a choice. I don't know why you felt like you had no choice. Why did you feel like you had no choice?
She says, I couldn't handle being with the group anymore. And you left no alternative, which the certain threats. What threats did you make to her?
Not sure what she's referring to.
Come on, then. Let's be truthful here. She's being truthful here.
Ask her what threats.
Taking the money and not letting me just buy land and be with her. As long as she needed you as a whole group to take care of. And blames me for all the problems. You blamed her for all the problems.
No, you were blaming yourself for everybody in the world's pain. You were saying you control everybody. You were blaming yourself for everything.
Let's be constructive here.
Just the day before.
Let's not blame anybody.
Just the day before.
Yes, you constantly told me.
Just the day before. That whole deep teaching that came out just before we left. They said the moral was. Jason said the moral was. Remember who you are.
So what deep teaching was that?
It's not your fault.
Paige?
I said the moral is it's not your fault.
Accept everybody treated me like it was.
That's your feeling. That's where your feelings.
I only existed if I moved first.
That's
Okay.
that's the whole thing. You never have nobody talks unless you lose.
Hey, listen to me. I don't think this is getting anywhere.
I wanted to hear something a little more specific.
The girls always hated. That's why we bring us indifferent. No? Okay. Okay. She said the girls always hated it. That's why we bring us indifferently to places. Practicing. Oh. Separating us. You separated the girls?
They were in different rooms.
Why?
As we said in the interview, because it was very negligent in considering everything that just happened. But I felt like everybody was very happy because of the context of that going on our way to Italy, and we were all seemingly pretty excited about it. I felt like Claudia was very uplifted about just this one thing, being there farm.
She even asked. She even asked. She said it felt wrong. She said, I thought it felt wrong. I even asked.
I just said that was another room because I had a bigger bed and they were trying to make things rest, and I said her to the other room, that bigger floor could have been too late.
Okay.
That was all. And
Are you ready to end this conversation?
almost. Yes, we did.
And just, what was that say? Can you watch it? And just watch it. Okay. Here's a piece of paper. Let's push it up so you can write better. Alright, she said, and just wanted to have a normal life for me and Nancy. She constantly told me I keep distracting and removing. Listen, she gave you what she had, okay? So,
I just wanted to know if there was anything more specific that's the trigger of this last one, but it's fun. That's really what it was. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know. Nothing back here. We were ready for a personal stuff there. All of us, the steps of there. No asking, just asking, and still asking.
I told you why. I told you why.
You told me you had no
were doing to her if I didn't listen. So it sounds to me like it was a lot of threats made on your part to her, and this is her reasoning for those threats, okay? I saw what you were insisting, but no worries. Nobody will be. Believe me. Good? You want to say more or not? Okay. You don't want to talk anymore either. Unless you do. Do you have questions? Okay. Did you arrive with her?
No, the officer never arrived with me. Now he guarantees to investigate us.
Okay. All right, if you have additional questions about this, what happened, I can answer those, all right? Did you try to come to I don't know what that means. Did you try to come to either of us? You didn't want to see you. Anything else before I let him go? No? He said no. All right, thank you so much, Ben. Yes. Okay, bye-bye. Okay. Well, I have questions, okay? Not about the conversation between you two. Okay? That's your personal business, okay? Are you okay with me asking questions? Okay. When you came in with all the bags and babies, is that what you had tonight, or you went back downstairs? Went back downstairs. Okay. Are the cuts on your hand from that night? Or from something different? Probably? Okay. What about your black eye? Tell me what happened here. I don't remember. I don't know. Okay. And same thing like that? Was it because of the situation that you were triggered that day? I wasn't in the same. Oh, I was in the same state for almost 2 months. Oh my goodness. It's getting worse. And nobody cared at all. Not even your parents cared? One. Irina. to if you don't want to. Do you remember the video or no? No? Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can pull it up, okay? Tell me about that video. Can you tell me something about that video? Was he forcing you? Okay. Do you feel like he was controlling you? Yes or no? This is a question, yes or no? Yes? Put it. Yes, okay. He said that he took you to get medication. Were you taking any medication? Any oil, prescription, THC, CBD, okay? Was the CBD? That's when my paranoia started. Was it laced with anything, do you know? Where did you guys get the CBD from? His friend. In what state? Connecticut? No? California. Okay. Got it in Connecticut. Ah, okay. Is that the friend's name? No? That same Jason that was in the room? Okay. Did he hurt you, Jason? Once. Or twice. Trying to get me back inside the house. Why did you leave the house? Didn't trust them anymore. And felt scared. Okay. I believe you. You know? I believe you. This group, he said it's only a trust for banking institution for a 501c3A. Is that true? What kind of religion? To have the system and get free money and houses. Okay. Christ doesn't have the system, right? No? Okay. Tell me, did you use the knife on yourself? What did you do first? How did it play out? Do you remember? Describe that. Walk me through the steps. I just want to die with her. I understand. You missed something. I know that. You want to quit? Let me know. We don't have to do this. I don't want to put you in any more trust. Okay? You want to talk to Mom, maybe? You think that'll lighten up the mood or not? You tell me what you want me to do. I'm here for you. when why am I required to stay here? You're required to stay here because you're still hurt, first off, okay? Is there a way to leave earlier? No. There isn't a way to leave earlier, okay? Because of what you did, okay, I can't make you go home, and I can't let you go home. And I'm not even going to sugarcoat stuff, okay? You probably won't be in the hospital until you get better, okay? I won't let you leave. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Are you going straight to prison? Not right away. No. And I don't know when that's going to happen. Okay? I'm sure I'm better. Maybe. Okay? Not going to lie to you. You want to talk to Mom? Or do you think it's not a good day to talk to Mom? What do you think? I want to go by what you think. She wants to talk to you. I don't know if it's good. Just like I think Ben talking about was good, but I let you have it. Okay? Yay, nay. So when do we get the phones back? Okay. He then will get his phone back hopefully today or tomorrow. You won't get your phone back, okay, until the case is closed. Alright? And even then, I don't know if they give phones where you're going to be going. Okay? I don't know. I can't tell you that for sure. Your phone is also being downloaded, but I don't have the password to it, so it's going to take much longer. Okay? So I can't promise you that. I can't. Did you ever try to do this before? Hurt yourself? Eighth grade. Okay. So Mom and Dad know that you did that? Yes? What did you try to do in the 8th grade? Hills. Okay. Okay. See? So my parents can't bring me a phone to speak with them. Your parents came to come to the hospital because of COVID. So, if you want to speak to them, I can call them right now. Okay? Up to you. What do you want to do right now? Can we call her mom? Okay? I don't have mom's number. That's why I brought you. Yeah. This is my sergeant, okay? He's gonna...
Is it okay if I come in so we can call Mom?
Can they send one in the mail? I can. You want me to ask? Okay. Whose number is that? That's your parents' number. Okay. She gave me your parents' number. I can do it. Alright, thank you. Okay. Let's do this. Put it on speaker again, okay? Let's get a new page, just in case you have some questions. Is this Renee?
Yes.
Hi Renee, this is Detective Cruz. I also have your daughter on the line, okay? She hears everything you're saying.
Okay.
And she wants to talk to you, but I will be communicating for her. She will be writing down the questions. If you have anything, then we can go from there. She's unable to speak. She's whispering, but not that great.
I do have an iPad, if I can do that.
Yeah, let's FaceTime on the iPad. Call me on this number.
Okay, you guys don't want me right back.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, Mom wants to see you. Is that okay? Okay. She's going to call me right back on my iPad and we can FaceTime. What's your phone password? Are you willing to give me that? 4, 2, 6. All right. Let's see if Mama's FaceTiming you now. Let's see. I think she's gonna call from this number. Is that what you want to tell Mom too? Hey, this is Detective Cruz. She can hear you just fine. She said, I am sorry I killed her. I should have stayed. Tell her what you want to tell her. I love you. 2. They're going to take me away. After being in here for weeks by myself. So they are going to move her to a new unit. So I have to ask that new unit if you guys can come see her, okay? All right, and I will ask, okay? And I'm going to do my hardest to see if, because of COVID, it's really bad here. I'm not sure if you're familiar. The cases of COVID have gone up in Georgia, and this area that we're in is heavily invaded with COVID. So if you guys do come, you're going to have to be masked up and everything the whole time with her.
That's fine.
Okay.
Whatever I have to do.
Absolutely. And we're going to try so that way you can see her, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And talk to her one more time.
Absolutely.
Chloe, promise me, no more talking until we can get you a lawyer. You have to get a lawyer. Okay? Don't. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Listen, calm down.
You want to tell her anything else?
Please do me a favor. We have to get you a lawyer. Okay? We already know,
Tell her.
but from here on out, you need to go to a lawyer, okay?
Hey, that's okay. Her blood pressure is going up and it's raising and elevating, and so I get it, but I don't want to really get her messed up. She said, can you talk to Brian about using the trust money? Maybe? The money? No? Can you talk to Brian about using the trust? Maybe. And I've already told them a lot. Yeah, she has told us a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Okay?
When will I be able to
Because I feel, hold on. She's still talking. Because I feel hopeless.
I don't feel hopeless. Please, you gotta get better. You gotta get better. You concentrate on yourself right now.
Okay.
She took these injuries to herself.
Yes. Yes. We'll talk to you afterwards. I think this is a lot for her to handle in a day.
I'm just okay. I'm really sorry about her mother. I love you, Chloe. I love you very, very much. We will do whatever we can do, okay? doing okay?
She's gonna be okay.
She is?
She is gonna be okay. Okay?
Alright. I love you more than anything. I love you more than anything. Take care of yourself. Please make sure you start eating. Please. I know you can't right now, but
I think they have a feeding tube, right? They gave you a feeding tube? Yeah, they gave her a feeding tube. She hates it, by the way.
she is
She hates it.
not.
I know. Okay. We will call you right after this, okay?
Alright.
Thank you. No, that's fine. You know, things are needed, and it's a situation that's going to be needed, okay? I get it, I get it.
Thank you for letting me chat.
You're welcome. Can you talk to Brian about using the trust, maybe? Okay?
I'll do my best.
I'll do my best. He might ignore you. Worth a shot, though. Worth a shot. That's what she said.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
I love you, Chloe.
Love you. I love you too. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. You can do whatever you do. Can you bring my camera?
Detective Cruz, we discussed that was December the 10th of 2020. The following day, December the 11th, were you present when she had a conversation with her father on the phone?
I was.
Okay. Were you there for questioning her on that day?
I wasn't going to question her on that day, but yes, I was there. I held my phone for her, and her father talked to her about getting an attorney.
Okay. Did you Mirandize her or question her in any manner?
No, it was
Okay.
just a conversation between her and her father.
Okay. And what statements do you recall her making in your presence to her father?
She did not want an attorney.
And did she make any statements about her state of mind when she committed the acts?
She did.
And what did she say?
I did it in my own mind, or something to that effect. It was of my own mind.
You indicated that Investigator Shaw did the scene processing in this case.
That's correct.
Okay. And I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 65 and admitted into evidence. Let's see. Do you recognize what this is?
That's the baby bag.
Okay. Was this the bag that was in the room with Ms. Driver and Hannah when the act was committed?
That's correct.
Okay. Can you see my cursor on your screen?
Yes.
What is this?
That's her cell phone.
Okay. Is this the cell phone that you collected and had processed by Lindsay Harris?
That's correct.
Okay. And after this bag was collected, did you do anything to retrieve any items out of that bag?
Yes. So we got rid of all of there was food in there, so we got rid of the food. And then we...
Is that carrots we see?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. And then we looked inside of the bag to see what was in it. There was some baby clothes, a couple checks. Her cards were in there, like the state of Connecticut card. There was debit cards. There was also money, cash in there. And she had some checks and like a bank statement.
Okay. How much cash was in that bag?
$1,000.
All right. And did you ever communicate with Ms. Driver after that bag was collected about what to do with those items?
I did.
And what did she request be done with those items?
To be given to her parents.
Okay. And when I say those items, what were being given to her parents?
So the cash, and then the cards, and I believe her photo ID was in there.
Okay. And did she complete a property release form to allow you to release her personal effects and cash to her parents?
She did.
May I approach? Yes. And Hannah, you say it's 108. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
Is this the form that she completed?
That's correct.
Your Honor, I would tender states 108. No objection.
108 submitted.
Okay. This is State's Exhibit 108, and can you tell the jury specifically what you retrieved from that bag and that belonged to Ms. Driver and released to her parents?
Sure. 2 Wells Fargo's debit card, 1 state of Connecticut social services card, 1 state of Florida photo ID of Chloe, and then $1,000 US in 20 increments of 50 each.
Okay, and those debit cards, were those in the name of Chloe Driver?
They were.
Okay. Can I approach?
Yes.
Hitting with March of States 109 through 114. Can you take a look at these and tell me if you recognize them?
Yes. Yes. These were the checks that were in the bag.
Just
And
generally tell me, are those the items that
Yes.
came from that bag?
all of these items came from that bag.
Okay. And do these photographs truly and accurately reflect what was inside that bag that was collected on scene?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, at this time I would tender State's Exhibit 109 through 114.
They're admitted.
This is the bag.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Do you know what this item is here in the middle?
It was, I believe, a Bible.
Okay. And then what were these items that were in the bag?
Checks.
Okay. And whose name were these checks in?
Chloe Drivers.
All right. And let me go back to 109. What banking institution were these checks related to?
Wells Fargo Bank.
Okay. And in looking at this check, can you determine the last 4 digits of the account number?
Yes, ma'am. 6656.
And when we look to the receipts that were in the bag, what do we have in the receipts?
The checking number, which would be 66. The date of the last transaction.
And there's 3 items in this, so let me be specific just for purposes of the record. The receipt on the bottom left of the photograph, what was the account balance and last 4 of the account number on that one? Okay. And does this receipt on the lower left of State's Exhibit 111 show a withdrawal in the amount of $800?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do the checks that we just discussed correspond with that account number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then going to the receipt on the top of State's 111, what does this show in terms of the transaction and account?
It shows a different date, the amount taken out, same checking numbers.
Okay, and this shows a withdrawal of $200?
That's correct.
Okay, the combination of those 2 receipts, $800 withdrawal and a $200 withdrawal, did that collective amount, was that consistent with the amount of cash that you found in her bag?
That's correct, $1,000.
All right, and is that the cash that she asked you to give to her parents?
That's correct.
Okay. And then this other receipt, what was the balance of this other account that she had a receipt for?
$69,000 for the check amount, and the total deposit amount was $69,000.
Okay, and was this a different account number?
It was.
Okay. Detective Cruz, in the course of your investigation, did you discover any evidence that anybody had stabbed Chloe or Hannah Driver other than Chloe Driver?
I did not.
Okay. And when did you arrest her for, or when was she, I guess, booked for the charges of murder in this case?
So I took out the warrant for her arrest on the 17th, and they discharged her from the hospital on the 22nd.
Of December?
That's correct. So she would have been booked in that day.
December 22nd, okay. And the individual that we saw in that interview who admitted to killing Hannah Nicole Driver, do you see her in this courtroom?
I do.
And can you point her out and tell me what she's wearing?
She's sitting right there in a white sweater.
Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness at this time.